Hey, glad to be here. Today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the live stream. I'm sorry, the live stream. We're going to be talking about the 7 streams of income. And I called this on YouTube, I called it 7 streams of income, a free masterclass. And I called it a free masterclass um, because hey, this is free. It's YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, and we're talking about streams of income, and I'm gonna be going into detail for you guys. So what are your streams of income? I'd like to know that, guys. If you have other streams of income besides a job, or even if your main stream of income is your job, drop that in the comments below, and let me know. And you may be watching me from YouTube, you may be watching me from Facebook, several places. But feel free to drop what your streams of income are in the comment section, guys. And also let me know what city you're at, if you can, guys, or what country. I know we have people that watch from all over the world. So what are your streams of income, and what city are you in? And by the way, if you have a question, you want to ask a question about any of the streams of income I go over, drop a Q next to your comment so I can quickly identify it, because I want to answer as many questions as I can also. I put up a video a few days ago talking about my 7 streams of income after age 40. And on this video, I want to do a deeper dive into each one of those streams of income for you. I'm going to break down my 7 streams of income and show you exactly what to do to get started and what you may need to get going. And I've done all of the things that I'm talking about in this video, or on this live, so I can help you answer questions. Now, I don't have all the answers, but I'm sure I have enough answers to really help a lot of people. Um, Again, put a Q if you have a question in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer it for you. Um, so that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to try to dig as deep as possible. There's some things I could spend an hour talking about each one of these. Some of these I could spend 3 or 4 hours. Some of these I've done seminars where I talk for an hour and a half about these. So I'm not going to give you everything, but I'm going to give you a lot. And I'm going to give you some tips and some details that are going to hopefully be helpful for you. I got 7 of them, but I want you to stay tuned for number 7, okay? Because I probably get the most questions about number 7. People seem to be really, really interested in this last one I'm going to talk to you about. I don't know why, but it's fascinating to some people. So I really want you to stick around for that one. But again, let's see. We got Tavonda Brown. Good afternoon, Eric. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, a tax consulting from Houston, Texas, H-Town. Very good. Glad to have you here. When you're investing this money, how much should you be putting in a car? Got to put a Q above average Bob next to your question. He started off a question. When you're investing in extra money, how much should you be putting in car savings to buy a car with cash? Man, that's an excellent question. And I think I'm going to hold tight before I answer, because we're going to get to that. Viewing from Broward County down in Florida. All right. And work on the side at Lowe's. Good job, Demetric. I used to work at Home Depot on the side, so I know all about Lowe's. I was in flooring, and I got tired of that, and that's one of the reasons I started one of these streams of income. I'm gonna go over with you. Sewing company, also in Houston. Sheila, good to have you, Sheila. Good to see you here. Yes, I still do eBay a little bit, not a whole lot. And if you do eBay, I'm going to mention that on this video. I'm going to dig deep into that a little bit too. So somebody from Jefferson City, Christy Davis, online selling. Good, excellent. Again, we're going to talk about that. And then Javonda, good. She also does Avon, fantastic. So listen, guys. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for dropping your name and your side business and what city you're in. And if you're tuning in a little late, feel free to do that. Again, if you're not on YouTube, feel free to go over to YouTube. I'll probably get your questions a little bit quicker on YouTube. All right, so let's jump into it, guys. Don't forget, smash the like button for me, guys, and you can share this video if you want, but keep pushing that thumbs up for me. It helps alert other folks, and it also gets this video out to more and more people. And I want to help as many people as possible. That's what this is all about. Again, don't forget to put a Q in the comments section. So let's jump into it, guys, because I have a lot of stuff to share with you. And if you're watching this after the live, I'm going to put some timestamps in the description box so you can hop around and go right to where you want to in terms of these 7 different streams of income. So let's jump right into it. First stream of income I have, guys. And again, if you're not on YouTube, you may not be able to see my screen because I'm going to share my screen in just a little bit. But the first stream of income I have is what you're watching on YouTube. It's the YouTube channel. That's the very first stream of income. Okay. Now, I started this YouTube channel that you're watching if you're on YouTube back in, I think, what? I uploaded my very first video in April or May of 2021. Okay. And so here we are, less than 2.5 years later, and the channel has grown tremendously. It's grown a lot. That's why I put it number one, because right now it's blowing up. Now, it was a grind. Let me just be honest with you, because I don't want to give you no pie in the sky on this live. All right. I want to be as straight up and honest with you guys and tell you the truth. Okay. It was a grind. I mean, in the grind house for 2 years. When I started, I was terrible in front of the camera. I was terrified of the camera itself, right? But I did it, right? I got started. You go back, and I keep a lot of my older videos on my channel on YouTube. You can see the difference, right? I talked slower. I was a little bit more measured, and I wasn't quite sure what to say. A lot of ums and ahs. But thankfully for me, what helped me out getting in front of the camera a little bit was the fact that I was a teacher for a long time, right? When I say a long time, 7 years I taught school back in the 90s. And then when I worked for the federal government, I did a lot of training and stuff like that in front of people. I also coached youth sports for 6 or 7 years when I was teaching school, but also 6 or 7 or 8 years after that. So I had a lot of experience being up in front of people and talking in front of people with no problem. And I may do a full video about YouTube sometime shortly, because it's been an amazing journey, and I can say so much about YouTube. Now, like I said, I started back in May or April of 2021, and by December of 2022, I didn't get monetized until December of 2022. Okay, so it took a year, I guess a year and a half, for me to actually become monetized. And when I say a year and a half, I'm talking well over 300 videos, okay, that I had to put up on YouTube and learn along the way and do this differently and do that differently and all that good stuff. I'm going to see if I can share my screen with you guys, because I just want to show you a little bit of the back end of YouTube. That's why I said it'd probably be good if you're not on YouTube. You might want to go to Smart Money Bro on YouTube so you can see some of the back end. I'm going to try to share my screen with you guys, so bear with me here and just try to show you a little bit about the back end of YouTube. Okay. And you tell me if you see the screen or not. I think you can. So as you can see, this is the backside of YouTube. Now, the back end of YouTube is pretty interesting. There's a lot of analytics in the backside of YouTube, and hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let me see. Yep, you can see my screen. All right. So on the backside of YouTube, and I'll just go right over to analytics so you guys can see what I'm talking about in terms of a side gig. But this is the backside of YouTube where you can look at all of your analytics, and the YouTube analytics are very, very, very detailed. I'm just on the overview. You could see the amount of views. We're talking the last 28 days on YouTube, and I'm trying to be as transparent as possible so you guys can really get a feel for what I'm talking about instead of me just talking to you about everything. But if you look on the back end of YouTube, it even gives you a live count, real time count. This is how many folks have viewed the channel in the last 48 hours, 66,980 if you can't see it. That's the latest video I put up. It's just a ton of information in terms of the backside of YouTube. 32,000 subscribers in the last 28 days. So it gives you a ton of stuff. Now I can change this over here to be the last 7 days, right? I can change this over here to be the last 90 days, right? But it gives you all this, and it goes through your content. It gives you really specific content, detailed information, talks about your audience. It gives you a lot of background. So I want to show you all this to say this, guys. The backside of YouTube, when you're starting a YouTube channel, the YouTube algorithm is very, very, very sophisticated. And I think I stopped sharing just now. Yeah. The backside of YouTube is very, very sophisticated, right? Um, you need to sort of understand and learn a little bit about the analytics of YouTube if you want to start YouTube, right? But one of the things I do is I kind of help folks along with all of these things I'm talking about on this video, all 7 of these streams of income. But the key is this: if you have something that you enjoy doing, nothing wrong with, listen, video is king right now. In the social media space, video is king. I don't care what platform you're on, whether it's doing reels on Facebook, doing stories on Facebook, doing reels on IG, or doing whatever it may be. Video is king. Okay. So if you have something to share with the world, maybe if it's just a vlog, right? Or how-to videos or tutorials, whatever you do, you can start a YouTube channel around it, right? Whatever you like, whatever you know something about, and even if you just want to just share with the world, you can start a YouTube channel. You don't need a brand new camera. You can use your iPhone or the first 200 plus videos that I shot and I have up on my YouTube channel was done with a regular old Android phone. Okay. You don't have to have any special equipment to start. You just pretty much, to be honest with you, when you're starting a YouTube channel, you just need the courage, right? And the desire to actually do it because that's really what it takes, right? You don't have to worry about what people say. Listen, people are going to say things about you anyway, right? And there's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well just go for it. If you have an idea, and it could be anything, you'd be surprised. Maybe you won't be surprised if you watch a lot of YouTube. People make videos about anything. Okay. It could be, how to pot a plant, how to put dirt in a plant, how to cook, whatever it may be. Um, and for me, I like to talk. So I said, what do I do most of the things around? Well, it's money. So let me talk about money. And that's one of the reasons I want to start a YouTube channel. But like they say on another channel of mine that I watch, actually it's a vidIQ channel, you just got to punch fear in the face and hit the record button and you'll learn as you grow, right? Of course, if you want to start a YouTube channel, because that's something I want to do here, is not just talk about what I've done, but talk about how you can do it. You need to figure out a plan, right? What are you trying to do and what are you trying to accomplish with the YouTube channel, right? What do you want to do videos about? How often do you want to upload videos? Do you plan to edit your own videos or not, right? Do you know anything about editing? If you do, great. You can learn editing, right? You can, do what I did when I moved my website from Wix over to WordPress. I locked myself in a room for a weekend and I just learned WordPress, learned how to write a blog. So it's possible, right? Hopefully you guys are still with me. Let me know. Good. Looks like you're still with me. All right. So do you want to learn how to edit your own videos and add all the fancy stuff in? Or do you not want to edit videos, right? You don't have to edit your videos. Some people get on, like I'm getting on this live right here. I'm not going to edit this live. I'm just going to upload it to YouTube right away. Some people, they really want to learn how to edit and be fancy and all that good stuff. Cool. If you want to do that, great. Learn how to edit. You can use DaVinci. You can use Adobe Premiere. You can use a video pad. You can use, if you're on iPhone, you can use iMovie, right? But people make millions of dollars shooting YouTube videos on their iPhone and editing them on their iPhone. So my point is you don't have to start with anything big, anything fancy, anything expensive. You just got to start, right? Life don't move till you move, right? You have to learn to edit if you want to, but you don't have to. Some people do a live show on YouTube and they go live every day or every other day or twice a week and they bring on guests and so forth. Now I'm using I like to use StreamYard to stream to several different places, right? And StreamYard does cost, but StreamYard costs like 30 bucks, 20 or 30 bucks a month. The plan I have, of course, they have big plans as well, but I just use a 20 or $30 a month plan and I stream my live videos using StreamYard so I can stream them on several different platforms. So right now, this is on Twitter. Right now, this is on Facebook, my Facebook group. Right now, this is on YouTube. I'm streaming in several different places because I like to use StreamYard. StreamYard is extremely easy. I don't know who invented, and I'm not a spokesperson for StreamYard, but I don't know who invented StreamYard, but it is the absolute, probably the easiest application I've ever used on a computer. It's like very, very simple. If I could show you the backside of StreamYard, you'd be like, this is like a third grader could understand it because it's just that simple. But So keep in mind, guys, also on YouTube, if you want to start a YouTube channel, that there's different niches, different topics, and you get paid different amounts of money on YouTube depending on, what your video is about, right? And you're paid based on a share of ad revenue, right? You split it with YouTube. So again, it's called revenue per meal is what it's called in terms of how you get paid. It's basically a metric that measures how much you're paid per 1,000 video views, and we shorten it by RPM, but it's based on a lot of different things: ads, it could be channel memberships, super chats, all types of things. But you've got the other thing you got to remember about YouTube, and I want to mention this, is you have to meet the YouTube requirements to start getting paid on YouTube. And like I said before, it took me a year and a half to meet those requirements. When I started, the requirements was this, and it's the requirements to get into the YouTube partner program. It was 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers in a 1 year period. Now, keep in mind, it took me a year and a half to get 4,000 watch hours. It took me probably a year to get the 1,000 subs. I got that fairly quickly. But according to the latest YouTube Partner Program guidelines, they just changed that from 4,000 watch hours and 4,000 and 1,000 subs. They changed it to only 500,000. I'm sorry, to only 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours to actually become monetized on YouTube and start getting paid from YouTube. But look, it took me a year and 8 months to get and 300 plus videos to even start to get monetized on YouTube. Now, the funny thing is, and I took my screen away, but I was sharing my screen with you guys, and I think I'll put it back up there so you can see real quick as I talk. But let me just pull it up real quick. So on my analytics on YouTube, as you can see, I told you that it took me a year and a half to get monetized. That means it took me a year and a half to get 4,000 watch hours. Well, guys, in the last 28 days, I've gotten 147,000 watch hours. That's how much the channel has grown in the last 2 months, right? In the last 2 months, it's grown where I'm now getting, I got 147,000 watch hours in just a month, 28 days. But it took me a year and a half just to get 4,000 watch hours. It took me a year to get 1,000 subs. Now I have 40, I think I have 45,000, 44, 45,000 subscribers because the last 2 months, the algorithm started to pick me up and it boosted me out big time in the last couple of months or last 2 months. Yeah. So it's grown a lot in the last couple of months. So I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you guys for being a part of the channel, helping the channel grow, and let me push that button, helping the channel grow, and all that good stuff. But that's YouTube. And I showed you a little bit about the back end. I could do a whole hour and a half long on YouTube, right? But as I'm talking about YouTube, let me just go through a few more things about YouTube. If you didn't know, by the way, guys, Google owns YouTube. And YouTube and Google are the two most popular search engines in the world, right? But YouTube is not just a search engine. So you don't want to make videos if you want to start a YouTube channel. You don't want to make videos only around the searchable content, right? You also want to make videos around what's going to show up in people's browse feed and all that good stuff. So there's really 4 T's that matter the most. I want to give you this because it's important. If you want to start a YouTube channel, titles, what you name your video matter. Okay. The simpler, the better. Third graders should be able to understand what your video is about. That makes it easy. Don't make it complex. Don't use complex words. Okay. The other thing is that thumbnails matter. That's the second T. How you construct your thumbnails, right? Really important because your thumbnail catches people's eye. You could show up in everybody's feed, but if your thumbnail's not interesting or it's confusing or they can't see it on their little phone, because most people see YouTube on their phone, it's not going to matter. The other thing is topic. What are you talking about? That makes a difference, right? I talk a lot about money. A lot of people deal with money on a regular, everyday basis. Now, listen, it doesn't mean you have to have a popular topic. Maybe your topic could be about, um, you know, something as small as fixing a car, right? Auto mechanic, right? If that's your now, listen, a lot of people actually look at that topic. That's not a rare topic, but the point is your topic is important. If you talk about a topic that nobody cares about, nobody's going to watch the video. So it has to be a topic that you think a few people, you can at least form a small community around that topic. And again, you don't have to have 40,000 or 50,000 subscribers to make money on YouTube, right? There's all different types of ways you can make money. If you have a dedicated 20,000 people that are dedicated to you and they want to purchase from you or they want to get information from you, they're going to watch all your videos. That's cool, right? But the other T besides titles, thumbnails, and topics is timing, right? Sometimes there's things you do that you put out on YouTube that talks about the timing of what's relevant, what's happening right now. Now, I'm no YouTube expert. I don't claim to be a YouTube expert. I'm not going to tell you I'm a YouTube expert. I only have 45,000 subs. 2 or 3 months ago, I had 5,000 subs. Okay. But I've learned a lot about YouTube over the last couple of years, guys. Again, my channel just exploded in the last couple of months. So again, I don't want to get on here and act like I'm some big YouTube guru who can give you all the good stuff, but I can tell you enough about YouTube to at least help a few folks, right? If you're interested in YouTube, I say go for it. If you have an interest, if you have expertise, if you have skills, or even if you just want to have some fun and get before the camera and you have something that you want to say to the world, go for it. Okay. Let me just tell you guys this about YouTube. One thing I encourage people to do about YouTube is try to build a brand. If you want your channel to grow, right? If you want it to grow, try to build a brand around your YouTube channel. And you don't have to name it anything, name your YouTube channel anything special, right? It could be your first and last name, right? The biggest YouTubers that I watch, a lot of times it's just their first and last name. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. But if you want a brand and you want to build and build and build, then build a brand around your YouTube channel. Keep the banner simple, keep the name simple, keep the mission simple. And again, for thumbnails, I use Canva, but you can use anything for thumbnails, right? You could use Microsoft Publisher if you're more comfortable using that. But I make my own thumbnails. I record my own videos, I edit my own videos, but I don't reinvent the wheel when it comes to YouTube, right? There's topics out there that are important that people care about. You can figure out what those topics are. But when I say build a brand, I'm saying become whoever you are on YouTube on all of your social media platforms, right? That you're active on. So if you go to IG, if you look up Smart Money Bro on IG, I come up. If you look at Smart Money Bro on Twitter, I come up. If you look at Smart Money Bro on Pinterest or on TikTok, I come up. If you look at Smart Money Bro on LinkedIn, I come up. Now on LinkedIn, it's my full name, Eric Bowie, right? But Smart Money Bro is in the profile. The link is in the header. And on Facebook, I have a Smart Money Bro page and I have a Smart Money Bro Facebook group. So branding is important if you want to grow away from YouTube. And all your social media profiles on all those social media platforms should point back to your YouTube if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, and because you want to funnel everybody back to YouTube, right? But remember, a couple of things. When you make a title, when you make a video, if you make a video, right? And I encourage everybody just to hit record and give it a shot, right? I'm gonna give you this gem real quick also, because a lot of people don't really think about this, but when you make a video on YouTube and you want it to grow and maybe go viral, whatever, say the title and the thumbnail or some variation of it in the first 30 seconds of the video. Say it several times throughout the video. The YouTube algorithm is so sophisticated. It's so complex. It's picking up and listening to all of what you say in the video when it begins to try to classify the video and put it on people's home pages or put it on people's feeds or whatever. It's picking up everything you say. It's reading what you say. It's reading your thumbnail. When you put up a thumbnail and you have certain things on the thumbnail, it's picking up what you have on the thumbnail. And it's picking up what you put in the description box when you fill out the description, when you put in the tags, all of that. That's how sophisticated the YouTube algorithm is. So there's a whole science behind what you should be doing on the back end of YouTube. Now, let me say this. The truth is, most of us, I don't care how much guru you are, we don't really know exactly what the YouTube algorithm is doing, right? To push out, right? People's videos and not push out other videos. So you can get all the gurus on here that you want to talk about what YouTube algorithm does. But the truth is, most 99.99% of us don't know. Okay. We just are saying what it looks and appears to be based on what's worked for us and what hasn't worked for us. So keep that in mind, guys. But remember, I got 7 of these. I just really want to spend some time on YouTube up front. And let me just kind of look at what you guys are talking about in the chat real quick. What are your thoughts on a faceless YouTube channel? I think it's cool depending on the niche. Depending on the niche, right? But I'm gonna tell you this about social media and YouTube. People want a connection to you. They want a connection to who you are as a person. You can put up a lot of faceless videos on YouTube. That's cool, but people really respond to people. People respond to people. All right. That doesn't change. That's in our biology, in our DNA, right? So be careful about a faceless channel. I think a lot of times if you're doing video games or something like that, cool. But if you really want to connect with people on YouTube, I think having your face in there does help you out a little bit. So keep that in mind. But that's a great question. The new phenomenal. That's wild. Your channel popped off. Yep. Chooch Tech said that's wild. The channel just popped off. Dead serious. I've been doing this for several years, and the channel just said boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, I had one video that said boom, 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 and then I got really, really um consistent with uploads over the last 2 months, really consistent, and that helped it. Yes, 16 is in vacation time. Said, yep, 16K. Let me just tell you guys, YouTube is real. Okay, as a source of income, as one of these 7 sources, it's very, very real. Um, it's a matter of just continuing with consistency and believing, right? I put up 200 videos that didn't get anything but 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, 500 views. But I stayed consistent because I knew that what I was talking about was going to help people. It was something that was important that I knew people needed to see and hear. Thankfully, it worked. I'm grateful for that. 4 months in, and yes, be patient. Rudy Martinez, be patient, my man. Take your time. It can happen. So somebody said it's all in that amazing chair. Thanks, man. Yeah, this chair, right? I got a couple other chairs, but I decided to go with this one. Congratulations. Thank you, Tavonda Brown. I appreciate it. You're buying Bitcoin. Cool. Do it. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm gonna tell you that flat out. My voice. I got a reason. Okay. We'll talk about my voice. Okay. We'll get to that. Thanks for trying to help us in spreading knowledge. Absolutely. I appreciate that. VJ Larry, Ramila Agard. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. This is a great knowledge. Ears open. Thank you, Tamar. I'm gonna call it Tamar Jackson. Just found you. Yes. Ocean View Coffee Crew. Fantastic. Good to have you. Thank you. Somebody said, I thought about making a channel to introduce what crypto is and how it's different. If you can bring a different angle to crypto, bring it. Let me explain something to you guys. It doesn't matter what you talk about on YouTube because you are unique. You are a unique individual. And so your unique twist is gonna help people in a unique way, no matter what you're talking about. I don't believe in saturation. Okay. I don't believe there's too many people talking about this. No, because you're an individual. You're going to bring something different. And so you bring something different to the table. What I talk about in terms of money might be I'm not Dave Ramsey, right? I'm not all the other gurus out there, but I am me, and as a unique person, my delivery is going to be a little bit unique. So if you want to do crypto, go for it, but just try to add a different twist to it so that you're not just like all the other crypto channels out there. And Angie said, hey, my problem is I have many things I like to do, so it's hard to decide. Totally understand that, Angie. That's why I have 7 streams of income and not just 3 or 4, because I have a lot of things that I really love to do. And you can juggle them. You can't get big at all of them at one time. I also tell people this: if you really want to go big out the back, off the bat, you really want to focus on a few things. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere at one time, right? So let me keep going, guys. I appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. If you have a question, put a Q by it in the comment section. I'll get to it. And also smash the like button for me. It's really important, guys, because again, I want this to get out to as many people as possible. Now, number 2. All right. Well, let me jump in. Let me say this, guys. Keep in mind that before you do a side gig, okay. Now, I don't want to go there. I'm not going to go there. Let's jump to number 2. I'll talk about that later. Number 2 is I do one-on-one coaching and mentoring services. All right. I take all the things that I'm going to talk about that I talk about in this video, and I teach people to do what I do. That's a stream of income for me. Excuse me. Now I'm talking about these side gigs, and I help people with this, but I also help people, obviously, because it is Smart Money Bro channel, with tightening up their personal finances. All of the videos that you see on this channel, it's probably 400 videos. I think about 300 something are public, but it might be 400 something videos. But out of all the videos, I wrote every single video. Okay. I didn't have anybody helping me. I wrote and filmed all of the videos. So I talk about all those things. I live what I talk about. So I have a video. Most of you probably haven't seen it. I said, I don't like apps for budgeting. I don't like budgeting apps. I didn't just read an article and come up with that video. I don't use budgeting apps. And everything I talk about in that video about why I don't use budgeting apps is me. So I share and talk about and help people with all the things that I talk about on this channel, from the 7 streams of income to personal finances. So, and I do it in one-on-one sessions. So, guys, if you know my story, you may not, you might be new here. I had a negative $30,000 net worth to my name just over 20 years ago. Now my net worth is a whole lot bigger than that. So what did I do? How did I go about it? What specific steps did I take to pull myself out of a lifetime, 30 years old, a full lifetime of poverty? I didn't go broke when I was 22. I was born poor, and I grew up poor, and I lived poor until I was 30 years old, and I made a switch and change right here. I help people with that process that I went through to maybe make some changes in their lives. I have a system where I break down it into really 4 areas of money mindset, money mainstays, money management, and also money multipliers, where we add to our income. And so I jump on a Zoom call with folks. I spend 90 minutes talking to them about their personal situation. We share screens, we dig into details, we get out spreadsheets and write things down. We go over budgets. I do all that for people. I charge about $300 for that, right? And because it's my time, right? And I don't just spend 90 minutes. We're on there sometime for more than 90 minutes, and I do my homework ahead of time. So I'm spending time, and I do charge for that. I also do free 15-minute phone calls with anybody. You just want to have a conversation, boom. I'll jump on the phone with you and have a conversation. Now, as that becomes busier and busier, I may not have a lot of time to do that, but I try my best to do that with folks that just need some help, because there's a lot of regular people that are just ordinary. And, they don't need all the guru stuff. They just need to have somebody to talk to them one-on-one, because everybody's personal finances is personal. But a lot of times what people need is just fresh new ideas, right? A new perspective, a new brain looking at their problem in terms of their money. So this one-on-one coaching, again, is for personal finances, or it's to teach and help some of the things I do, but it's a source of income, right? And let me share my screen again. I use something called, I offer my one-on-one coaching or mentoring. I offer it on a platform called Teachable. And I'm going to show you Teachable real quick, just to kind of show you guys what it is. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, here's Teachable. And if you're looking on the screen, you'll see Teachable, but it's just a website. And it's a website where you can offer your services, whether it's digital products, whether it's coaching, whether it's classes or courses that you teach. I like Teachable, again, because it's very, very easy to use. It's not super fancy. Here's the plans, right? You got a free plan where you try it out. I actually have the basic plan. I don't have the pro and the pro plus. I don't have $100 a month to spend on that. But I got the basic plan. And the basic plan of Teachable lets you do anything. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you my actual front page. On Teachable, you have an opportunity to set up a landing page for whatever you want to do. And, and you can construct that landing page however you want to construct it. I'm just going to show you my landing page so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, if I can get to it. Let's see. Yep, there it is. So that's my landing page. So you don't have to do a whole website or nothing like that. You just set up a landing page. You've got a header up here, what they call above the fold, right? That stuff up here. And then you've got what I do, my services and the pricing and all that good stuff. And then you got some other stuff, frequently asked questions. You can construct this landing page however you want it to look. It's not very difficult to do. Okay. So I just want to share that with you guys, that Teachable is a nice place. Now, listen, you don't have to use Teachable. Okay. You can use a bunch of other types of places besides Teachable, right? There's Thinkific, there's Udemy, there's all different types of places. Kajabi, you probably heard of some of these, but you can use any of those to set up coaching, to set up courses. But all you got to do in terms of this one-on-one, you can offer one-on-one services for whatever you do, whatever you like. Maybe you're a chef, maybe you're a cook, maybe you make peach cobbler, right? And everybody loves your peach cobbler. You can set you up courses on how to create your peach cobbler, whatever it could be. It could be anything, guys. There's no set thing. Whatever you're good at, right? Or whatever you like to do, or maybe you have a gift. Maybe your gift is playing the piano and you want to teach people how to play the piano. You can set up courses on playing the piano on a place like Teachable. You can set up um, one-on-one coaching for mental health. I don't It could be anything, right? Again, your skills. Everybody's acquired some skills over the years. I don't care if you are a custodian and you've been a custodian for 20, 30 years. You've got skills to be a custodian. You can show people, how to clean, how not to clean, what to use, what not to use, how to, whatever it may be. I don't care what you are, but I believe everybody has a gift and everybody has some skills and you can teach others to do it, right? Whatever you do well. But here's the kicker with Teachable courses, one-on-ones, whatever you do, you have to sort of market it, right? You can't just go to Teachable, set it up and set it and forget it and think people are going to find you. You got to market. You got to sell what you do to the world. You have to show them what you do. You have to, again, brand. You got to create a brand around what you do if you want to grow it, right? Maybe you don't want to grow, but somebody around the world is wanting what you offer. Somebody around the world is wanting your skills, right? Whatever you offer. They want to learn what you know, right? They want to learn what is your expertise. I said custodian earlier. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people across the world. There's millions of people that want to learn how to clean better or want to learn how to do something better, right? In terms of a custodian, whatever you know how to do. There's custodians that just want to know, how do I navigate the job of being a custodian, whatever it may be, right? But I've been selling my one-on-one courses, not courses, my one-on-one coaching on Teachable for a couple of years and just working with people one-on-one, right? But please, if you want to do that, do not forget the marketing side of the piece, right? I'm going to drop a link to Teachable. I think it might already be if you're on YouTube down there. And you can, click that link if you want, and you can dig into Teachable. But again, Teachable is not the only platform that you can use to set this up. Now, just a reminder, guys, smash the like button for me and drop a Q next to your question. Let me run through the questions, see if you guys got anything. Boom, boom, boom. You've learned a lot. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate it. Digitizing Central Bank. Great. Thanks all. That question from Cedric. Can you link the website to your consulting services in the chat? Yeah, I don't really know how to do that, but let me try it. I'll give it a shot. I'm kind of new on using StreamYard, but I say new, but I'll see if I can do it. Let's see if it works. Yep, I think I just put it in there, Cedric. Thank you, Cedric, for that question. Good afternoon, Eric. I'll follow you step by step. Side hustle I want to go through is eBay. I'm going to get to eBay. I think it might be next on the list. I'm going to explain a lot about eBay because that's one I've done a whole bunch. You appreciate. Thank you. Question from Dimitrik. Are you going to talk about what you got tired of, why you got tired of Home Depot? I'll tell you why real quick, Dimitri. I got tired of Home Depot because I said to myself, look, I'm sitting here in flooring. By the way, I worked in flooring, real talk. I said, I'm sitting here making $11 an hour, whatever I was making. I can be making $100 an hour doing my own thing because I have enough drive, I have enough ambition, I have enough intelligence to pick up a computer and figure out what I can do on my own. I don't have to sit here and make $11 or $10 an hour. I can go out and make $100 an hour. So guess what I did? I went out and made $100 an hour. I'll tell you more about that. But that's why I said no more Home Depot, right? I was done with that. I was done with all of my side jobs that had to do with working for somebody else. Okay. Oh, somebody said, Monica said, hi, thanks for question. Is when starting an online business, how do you handle the tax side of it? I always put money to the side for taxes. I'm a person, full disclosure. I like to be as transparent as possible. I'm a person that has been audited by the IRS. Okay. I'm a person that was audited by the IRS and I threw all my stuff away And then 3 or 4 years later, the IRS come knocking on my door. Hey, we think boom, boom, boom. They didn't knock on my door literally, but they sent me letter in the mail. They audited me, and my eBay business is what was audited, by the way. All right. So, and I had thrown away a bunch of my stuff. So I ended up owing the IRS a bunch of money. Pay your taxes. The IRS does not play. They're mean for no reason, right? And even though I was able to recoup a bunch of stuff, I still owed them a little bit of money and I paid them. So you want to make sure your taxes are taken care of. Every single dime I make, I put money to the side for taxes. And I got a good CPA. That's one key. Always get a good CPA that knows their stuff. Are you still federal contracts as a source of your income? Yes, we'll talk about that in a bit as well. What are your thoughts on crypto? Not a fan of crypto. I don't have. I might have $300 worth of crypto, Ethereum, I think, but I don't play much with crypto. And what order did you start your source of income? Great question. Let me get through all of them, and I'm gonna answer that question. Okay, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. First time attending your live, check the logic said, I like what I'm hearing. Appreciate it, man. I'm just a real regular guy like everybody else is out there regular. I'm nobody special. I'm nothing fancy, you know, at all. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the third stream of income. Um, Third stream of income is this: real estate. I own rental houses. I've been doing it for 20 plus years. It is work. It is not easy. It's not easy at all. There's a lot to understanding real estate. On this channel, I have about 97 videos about real estate, about how I got started, about what to look for, what to do, what to have in your leases, how to manage property, how to handle handle tenants, right? That tenant landlord relationship. I started doing real estate a long time ago. It's not very easy. It's nice when you have good tenants and you can sit back and collect rents, right? And that thing is on autopilot, but it's not always on autopilot, right? There are times when you're out working on your properties and doing things for and at your properties. It's pretty cool to get rents, though, directly deposited to your account, right? I talk about real estate, again, a lot on this channel. I have a whole playlist of videos that are incredibly informing about real estate. So please check those out. I think it's the best side hustle, bar none, on the planet. And I think so because not only are you getting paid, and when I'm talking about real estate, I'm talking about income producing real estate. So real estate, you get money from every single month, whether it's commercial, apartments, duplex, townhome, single family. I'm not talking about land that's sitting there and you're not getting money from it. Land is very speculative. Be careful about land. I'm talking about income producing real estate where somebody's paying you monthly. I call it the greatest side hustle of all time because you're also getting appreciation on that property, and that appreciation adds up over time. I still only have a couple of properties. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, how I got started in real estate. I started by watching late night infomercials. If anybody is over 40 years old, 45 years old, you remember Carlton Sheets, you name it, the Robert Allen, all those guys that come on late at night, sitting on their boat with their family, talking about, hey, no money down real estate. I said, man, I can do that, right? I was chomping at the bit. Keep in mind, up until I was the age of 30, I had never lived in a home by anyone, by owned by anyone I knew. My parents, my mother rented all the way, and I rented up until I was 30 years old, right? I wasn't no 17-year-old guru that had 19 houses, right? I was a guy that just rented property. I thought that's what I do. But then by the time I got in my late 20s, I said, you know what, I think I can do this. I think I might be able to do this. And so I started reading a lot about real estate. Of course, then you had to go to the library and things like that. There was no YouTube and stuff. And I ended up finding a handyman. His name was Wes. I won't say his last name, but his name was Wes. And I asked him if I could trail him because I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what was behind a wall. I didn't know anything. I didn't know that lights, how you run lights. I didn't know what was underneath the floor. I didn't know anything because I had lived in houses that I did not own. My parents didn't own. My mother didn't own. None of us. And I asked him, I said, can I trail you? I said, you don't have to pay me any money. I just want to learn a little bit about real estate. He was a nice guy. He said, yeah. So on the weekends, for the first 3 or 4 months, when I was trying to learn about real estate, when I was in my stages saying, I think I can do this, I trailed him. He didn't pay me anything, right? He didn't pay me a dime. What he paid me though was he paid me in knowledge, in education, right? And so I say that to say, and I say this to a lot of people, sometimes you won't get paid in money. Sometimes you'll get paid in the people you meet. Sometimes you'll get paid in the experiences you have. Sometimes you'll get paid in the knowledge and the education that you pick up, right? And so that's how I got started. I learned, and then I went out, then I got an agent, and my agent, he was a guy that took me around, showed me some things. Hey, you want to do this? I didn't know nothing. I'm 30 years old. My agent ended up saying, "Hey, I got 10 houses. I'm gonna sell one of mine. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath in a bad part of town. Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." And he said, I'll owner finance it for you." So the very first house I bought was an owner financed 2 bedroom, 1 bath in a terrible neighborhood. So terrible that when he sold it to me, there was a squatter in the home, right? There was no lights, no electricity, just a homeless guy living in the home. And I had to learn off the bat how to deal with people, right? So I had to get this. Ultimately, it took me about 2 months to get this squatter out. And squatter was a big dude, right? And squatter wasn't no little old lady. Squatter was a big dude. Okay. And so I had to work with him, talk to him, all this, working and just going back and forth. And finally the squatter left, right? So he ended up selling me the house a few months earlier for $10,000. I ended up paying him about $150 a month, put it on a 10-year lease. I went in there, and the very first handyman that I had help me ended up stealing like $500 worth of equipment from me. I brought him. I found him in like a newspaper or something. Brought him in to look and say, "Hey, what can you help me with this? I got to do this to the house. This. I finally got this squatter out." He ended up stealing a bunch of stuff from me. We went to the store to Home Depot, matter of fact, to get a bunch of stuff for the house to try to fix it up, add a door, do this. And lo and behold, this guy ended up stealing a bunch of stuff. I later found out he was on drugs. But the second handyman that I picked up to help me with that very first house, I still use him today, 20 years later, 20 some odd years later. So, but I had to jump in and do real estate to learn real estate. I couldn't just learn from the outside. I could read all the books, look at all the infomercials. I could do all that stuff I wanted to, but I wasn't going to learn real estate until I actually did some real estate. So that's kind of how I got started, the short version, right? And I just learned on the go. Bought a bunch of houses and ended up getting rid of a bunch of houses. And lo and behold, I still have two rental houses today, but I've managed them myself for the full 20 plus years I've had them. So I've learned a lot. If you want to get involved with real estate, you got to make a plan, right? Do you want to wholesale? Do you want to flip? Do you want to rent? Do you want to buy commercial properties? Do you want to buy residential, single, apartments? What do you want to buy? What do you want to purchase? Figure that your plan out. Do your due diligence, right? When you're looking at property, location is everything. Location is no joke. It's very, very important. Even when you want to rent a property out, location is important because if you're not in a good location, your rents will be lower. If you're not in a good location, it's going to be harder to find a tenant. If you're not in a good location, you may not want to go over there and work at midnight, right? Or 10 o'clock at night, do the work. You might not want to, your management company, if you hire a management company, they may want to charge you more to manage that property because it's in a bad location or what have you. So I'm just giving you all that to say that I got way too much knowledge on real estate, and I could probably be 4 hours and I've done hour and 2 hour seminars on real estate, right? But again, the best way to learn is to do it. I encourage you guys to go check out some of the 90 plus videos I have on here, this channel about real estate. Okay, so let me check and see if you guys got any question. RFBM, you remember me when I had 700 subs? Thanks for hanging in there. Yeah. Let me go back here because you guys have dropped some really good questions here. Um, Angie said, "How do you find out which topics generate the most revenue?" Oh, you're talking about on YouTube. Um, Angie, let me give you this, Angie. If you want to do a YouTube channel, I'm gonna go back to YouTube because she asked a question about YouTube. If you want to do a YouTube channel, um, don't do it based on how much is going to generate the most money. If you want to figure that out, you can Google that in YouTube. Google it. You can use YouTube, do a search engine to ask that question, and you'll get videos to telling you exactly which niches. I can tell you that if you do children's stories, you're going to get a lot less money than if you talk about money. When you talk about money or how to make money, you do make more money on YouTube. But I say do what you feel comfortable talking about. Don't just do it for whatever is going to pay the most money. Um, That's my opinion. Okay. Somebody said, how many properties? Tavonda, thank you. Chooch said, how many properties? I only have 2 rental properties now. I had up to 6, and I was managing one for somebody, 7 single families, but I only have 2 now. So you don't use a property manager. What are your thoughts on hiring? Dirk said, you don't use property management companies. No, I don't. What's my thought process on hiring? If you don't want to manage your properties and you get 5, 10, 20 properties, hire a management company if you want and vet them out very thoroughly, because you still have to sort of manage the management company, right? You want to make sure they're doing the right thing. I always suggest this, Dirk: manage your own properties for at least a year. That way you know what to do, you know what to look for, you know what to expect from the management company, right? Because you've done it for a year. You know what stuff costs, you know what labor costs. You can't get taken advantage of if you have a little bit of a clue. So at least a year, year and a half or so, manage your own property. And then if you want, hand it over to a management company. It's going to make you a better judge of the management company if you actually do it yourself for a little bit first. So that's what I suggest, Dirk. Kate, thank you, Kate. RFBM, what's good? Boom. Got you. First saw your YouTube back on Finance Facebook group. Excellent. Thanks for hanging in there with me, RFBM. I appreciate it. Tavonda, thank you very much. You give me some ideas. Okay, excellent. Glad I could help. Mommy Trader, we have 2 townhouses we manage them ourselves, hoping to get 2 more doors. Add to those doors, Mommy Trader. Make sure that when you buy property, you buy thinking about the sale. Okay. And that helps you get a better deal on a property. When you buy rental property, you don't want to buy at retail prices. You want to buy it, for less than, right? So do your homework, make sure you buy well, and then you can have your doors. I would suggest you get 20, 30 doors if you can, right? But don't have 20 doors making $100 each door. That's not very smart. Me personally, I'd rather own, you know, 5 properties and be making about $1,000 on all 5 properties than have 50 properties making $100 each door. So because you don't, the less doors, the less problems, less headaches you have to deal with. So keep that in mind. Um, okay, let me jump to number 4. Is it? Yeah, we're on number 4. Number 4, the fourth stream of income is I sell items on eBay. It's one of my favorites because it literally only takes a computer and a phone and a few random items around your house to sell property or sell things on eBay. I was a serious eBay seller. Somebody asked about Home Depot earlier. I left Home Depot around 2011, 2012. I'm over 40 years old at that point. I didn't want to be sitting there with an apron on and flooring in Home Depot making $10, $11 an hour. I said, how can I go make money and make more than this? I should be making $20 an hour, $80 an hour. So I said in 2012, my daughter was about to go to college, and I said, we have no money saved up for her. So she got to get a bunch of scholarships, and I got to figure out a way to make some more money. So I got serious about it. At first, I started on Amazon, and I said, okay, how can I generate money on Amazon and eBay? I'll try them both out. And so lo and behold, I didn't like Amazon because you really couldn't, you had to sell a lot of most categories, you had to be new. You had to sell new items on Amazon. And so at that point, Amazon was right here and eBay was right here, right? They weren't that far apart like they are now. Now Amazon is way bigger than eBay. But back then they were like 1 and 2 neck and neck almost. And so I decided let me stay with eBay, right? Because Amazon, you got to sell new. Yeah, you can sell books, but who wants to make, 30 cents on every book you sell, right? So I said, let me stick with eBay. I started with things around my home, right? Just selling things that I knew I was giving away at my home. Then I went to the thrift store around the corner. And it just kind of ballooned from there. Listen, let me just say this before I get too far into eBay. eBay is still very, very viable. There's still a lot of folks buying stuff on eBay, right? And I know eBay is down now, but it's still kicking, right? Nowadays, there's just so many more online merchandise platforms than there were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. All right. Nowadays, there's tons of them. There's, Alibaba and Bonanza and Shopify, Etsy. There's tons of them. So eBay just has more competitors, but you can still make a lot of money on eBay, guys. I still have an eBay store. Matter of fact, let me share my screen with you guys. I want to show you my eBay store because I still have a store on eBay. I don't list a lot of things on eBay nowadays, but I still got, I guess, 70, 80 things still on eBay. So if you're following on YouTube, you can see, boom, that's my eBay store. And I still have that pair of shoes right there, lady shoes. I sold men's and women's shoes is what I sold mostly on eBay. And as you can see, I still have 100% positive feedback score. That's huge. I've sold 3,700 items on eBay, and I still have a bunch of shoes. I have a few other things like some hats and some CDs or something on eBay, but mostly it's shoes, as you can see. I'm thumbing through for those who can't see it on eBay. But the thing about eBay is that eBay's an depending on what your margins are, what you decide your margins are going to be. I just want to show you my page real quick, guys. I'll take that off the screen right now. But depending on what your margins are on eBay, I tried out a bunch of stuff. The reason I stuck with shoes is because back in 1999, guys, just so you know, I've always had a side gig, side job. Okay. Even when I was a teacher back in the late 90s, I worked at Circuit City as a salesperson selling electronics. Then I worked at Dillard's as a shoe salesman, sold men's shoes. So I've always had side gigs. I haven't worked 40-hour work week in many, many decades, right? So, but I sold shoes at Dillard's. So I knew a little bit about shoes. And one day I was at a thrift store. I bought a pair of shoes for 40 bucks. You know, at this point, I was all around looking for all types of stuff to put on eBay. This is early on, 2013. I put a pair of shoes on eBay. They sold for like 40 bucks. And I said, wait a minute. I bought this pair of shoe for $4 and the shoe turned around and sold for 40 bucks. That's a nice chunk of change. That's 36 bucks. Plus I had to take out, um, shipping might have been $6 back then. Take that out. I made 28 bucks or 30 bucks or whatever it was on a pair of shoes, one pair of shoes. So I said, this is kind of interesting. So I went out and started looking for shoes specifically. Salvation Army, Goodwill, used stuff, stores that sell used items, estate sales. Those were big. I had some good estate sales, friends and families, garage sales, right? You go to garage sales, you'd be shocked. I remember one time I'll tell you this quick story. I went to a garage sale. I wasn't going to stop. I said, nah, let me stop. Let me pull over. Boom. Went in there. Lady had a bunch of stuff. She had a purse over there in the corner. I said, let me look at that purse. Boom. Went over there. Coach purse. Old. It wasn't really beat up. It was just like it had been in the garage for about 3 or 4 years. Dust all over it. I pulled it. I said, how much you want for this purse? $1. Okay, cool. I'll give you $1. Took that purse home, Coach purse, good condition overall, no cracks or anything. Cleaned it up. I sold that purse for like 400 bucks on eBay. Right? You'd be surprised at what people give away. We live in a society of excess. In a society of excess, people give away good stuff. You can go to a Goodwill or Salvation Army. If you look hard enough, you'll find some stuff. And that's how I did a lot of my sourcing, right? On eBay. Um, as you just saw on eBay, I've sold over 3,700 items on eBay, separate items, separate transactions, 100% positive feedback because I really believe in taking care of the customer, right? But also, um, over $100,000 worth of stuff I sold on eBay. My revenue was over $100,000 in 6 years on eBay, and a lot of that went towards my daughter's college. Right? Don't sell. I didn't sell raggedy and beat up stuff on eBay. I sold good quality items. Right? Um, and so that's what I did on eBay for a lot of years. And I still have a bunch of stuff still on eBay. And I keep inventory. You can drop ship if you like. I decided not to drop ship. But it's what I did for a lot of years, guys. And it was very, very profitable for me. 50% margins, meaning I probably brought home $50,000 over those 6 years. You say $50,000 not much. Well, when you're only spending 7 or 8 hours a week doing it, that's not bad, for some extra income. Who couldn't use an extra, 50, $800 a month just selling a few things when you go sourcing and so forth. A few things about eBay. Find a niche. That's my suggestion on eBay. Don't just sell everything, right? Find something that you know a little bit about and learn a little bit more about it and sell it. It kind of makes sourcing and so forth easier when you go out to look for stuff. You know where to look, how to look. I could be in and out of a Goodwill store looking at many, many racks. I could be in and out in 5 minutes. Doesn't take me long to figure out, oh, okay, that's the brand. That's not the brand. That's the condition. That's not the condition. I can actually clean this. And guess where I learned to figure out how to sell on eBay? I learned on YouTube. There was a lady I watched in 2012, 2013, 2014 who sold shoes on eBay. She did a couple of grainy videos. I watched them. I watched her closely. I learned how to pick a pair of shoes, what to look for, how to clean them, how to get them ready, how to photograph them, how to sell them, right? And eBay, you can advertise and market eBay, but a lot of times when you're selling on a site like eBay, it sells itself. You don't have to do a whole lot of marketing for that because people come to eBay to look for stuff. Um, but and don't forget, there's fees, right? Know your fees. Different categories that you sell under in eBay carry different fees. What you sell a shirt for on eBay is going to have a different fee associated with it than what you might sell an old VCR for, right? But eBay can be demanding on your time, guys, at some point, especially if you go deep into it, right? Most people that sell on eBay, they don't sell on eBay for 30 years, right? They're in it and do it strong for 3 or 4 years, make a lot of money and get out of it. Because it can be, if you do it full time, it can be time consuming. But learn the platform, market. You can market your eBay store if you feel like it. You don't have to necessarily on eBay. Don't sell trash on eBay. Sell quality things. Take excellent pictures because pictures sell the item. But don't take pictures that are disingenuous, right? If you, whatever is an issue on your item, make sure you show the issue on your pictures, right? Disclose the problems and things. Be honest with customers because you want to have positive feedback scores. The more positive your feedback scores are, the more apt people are. I mean, think about it. If I'm on eBay and I see two things that look the same, one person has a 90% feedback score and one person has 100%. I'm gonna go with 100% because they got a better lifespan of quality. So that's important, super important. But nothing in life is more basic than buying low and selling high. And that's all eBay is. Don't be afraid to pay for somebody to help you with eBay items if you don't have the time. I started eBay with a cheap Walmart camera that cost me 80 bucks. And back then, you couldn't take the pictures on your phone, wasn't so good, 12 years ago, right? But I started with a very inexpensive camera and a cheap laptop and I made a boatload of money on those things. But I actually have some tips on how to make how to make a lot of money on eBay. I'll put it in the description box below, guys. Let me just check and see if you guys got any comments, questions. Um, well, thanks. Too rich to miss. I appreciate it. I Thanks for joining me. Gotcha, mommy trader. Appreciate it. Do people still buy from you? Yep, they do actually, believe it or not. People still get on eBay. But again, you don't have to get on eBay. You can go on any platform and sell. People buy from all different types of platforms nowadays. I'm just mentioning eBay because it's the one I'm most familiar with. Um, Learning knowledge is far more valuable than learning money. Absolutely. So much more. It could be so much more valuable. Um, that's all right, Angie. I don't mind. Ask questions. Avocado, love avocado, said, I feel like people go to eBay for very specific items. They do. They may, right? What are your thoughts and perspectives on voiceover? That's one of mine, and I'll get to it at some point. I did it for 3 years and made peanuts at it, right? Made a lot of mistakes and learned a lot. Absolutely. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hang tight with me, too rich to miss. We'll talk about it. I also put items on Mercury to sell, Tabanda said. That's not a bad place either. I think I've heard of that. Congrats on the success of your channel, Moses said. I appreciate it. Moses, if you got any questions about starting a YouTube channel, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And then Johnny also said he sells on Mercury as well. So fantastic. Thanks. If you got a question, guys, put a Q up there for me, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you guys. All right, let me go to number 5 because we're getting close to number 7. Number 5, my 5th stream of income that I want to dig into with you guys is digital products. Now, digital products. Okay, digital products is just basically an intangible good that you can't really hold in your hand, but you can sell it online. Digital products are nice because they're like limitless, right? You never have to hold on to inventory or replenish inventory. It's just like it's a downloadable, something you can upload to your computer from me, right? That's a digital product. It could be a music file. It could be any type of PDF, an ebook. maybe tutorials, guides. I like to say cheat sheets as well, because sometimes people like a cheat sheet on how to do something, right? That's in a digital format, that's a digital product, right? And people love to learn. So anything you can put in an e-learning format, um, that can be a digital product, right? Ebooks, photography, any of that, software apps, all that, written documents, right? Templates, graphics, digital art, whatever it may be. Um, you can use Canva, right? Or you can use, and Canva, let me just share my screen with you guys in a second. Canva, you can use Microsoft Publisher. I've done digital products on both. I'm going to show you some of my digital products that I've done so you can just see what I'm talking about. Let me share my screen with you guys. If you're on YouTube, great. All right, here, if you check out here on my website, guys, this is examples of digital products, right? This one's about budgeting. It's a simple budgeting template, $2. This one right here is 30 tips on how to buy a good used car, $2. These are on my website at smartmoneybro.com. You go to the tab that says shop. This one's the 16 tips to start an eBay business. All right, three books. It gives you tips, and I sell quite a bit of those. And then this one right here is how to win government contracts. We'll talk about that one. But this is examples of digital products. You just click here. I don't have to do anything. Once I set it and spend the time, the weeks or the months, whatever it takes, the days making the digital product, I upload it to a format, a website, a platform, and you go purchase them. And when you purchase them, I automatically get paid. Digital products is really, really, really sweet. I mean, it is an extremely nice way to make money. If you have good, solid digital products, I always suggest them because I think digital products may be one of the most passive ways to actually earn income right now. A lot of folks are doing it. You can sell those digital products on many different types of platforms. Like I said, you can create them if you're good, and you can get good, right? On Canva, or for example, I use Canva for all of my thumbnails, right? If you go back and look at my earlier thumbnails from a year ago on my YouTube channel, you'll see those thumbnails were a little bit they were not as nice as the ones I do now. But a lot of people don't like Canva. They can use Microsoft Publisher. Just depends. But you can sell your digital products on platforms like SendOwl, Gumroad. A lot of folks on Twitter use Gumroad. Mine are hosted by WooCommerce on my website, Shopify. There's tons and tons of platforms where you can actually upload your digital product and sell from that platform. You just connect how you're going to be paid, your methods of receiving payment, and just start marketing and selling your product, your digital products. And like I said, I use WooCommerce, but digital products are really, really, really low impact. You just got to be creative and come up with something people want. Again, use your knowledge and know-how and whatever value you bring to a space, create it, put it on paper, put it on something type of PDF, and market it. Right? You can write a book. Look, I have 2 books that I've written that are on Amazon. Look at Smart Money Bro on Amazon. You can get to them. But one of them's 50 pages, one of them's 70 pages. One of them's about real estate. And I don't really market them very much, right? But I don't talk about them too much. But these are things that I've done. One was about buying a used car, and one was about real estate. Every time it sells, and you can get it in an ebook form or in a digital format, or you can get it in a paperback format on Amazon. But that's an example of a digital product, right? An ebook doesn't have to be 50 pages. You can write a 10-page book. You can write it. You can do a coloring book, right? Whatever it may be. You can be, watch this, you can be a ghostwriter. You can have a ghostwriter write your book for you, right? You can have a ghostwriter create your digital products for you. And then you pay them to create it, and then you just sell it, right? Get creative with this thing. You can have you can have a ghostwriter write a whole book for you and put it on Amazon. But there's all types of ingenious ways to make money online. Digital products is just one of those, guys, but anybody can do it, right? I think I'm gonna drop a link to the books, my 2 books down low if I haven't already done it. But I also have another ebook that's coming out, right? I'll probably do that one for free. I probably won't even charge for that ebook, but it's going to be an upload. It's going to be a digital upload. It's going to be a digital product, and it's going to be free more than likely. It'll be about money, but it'll be free. So digital products are a great way to do it, right? If you guys have questions about it, I'd be more than happy. I can dig deeper into that one as well. This takes me, let's go ahead and jump over to my sixth stream of income. Remember, I got seven, and number seven is the one that I get the most questions about. Let's go to number six, though, guys. Let me see. Let me check out a couple questions. Too Rich said Canva's easy to use. Yep, sure is. Boom, boom, boom. That's so true, Tavonda. Excellent. Okay. Good. Okay, so let's jump into number six. Number six is my sixth stream of income is my job. You're saying, well, that ain't no extra stream of income. I have a 9 to 5. Let me explain to you guys. So some of you don't know what I do, but I'm gonna explain to you what I do. I'm a warranted contracting officer for the federal government, which basically means I spent the last 15 years vetting contractors, hiring contractors, managing contracts, doing performance evaluations, source selections, paying contractors, procuring goods and services on behalf of the federal government. Procurement is just a fancy word for purchase, right? Buying things for the federal government. And I've worked for the government, for federal government, for over 20 years, and only the last 15 doing what I do. So I have a 9 to 5. It's a stream of income. It's a nice stream of income, pretty hefty stream of income. But to further explain what I'm saying, what I do for the federal government, every federal government agency has to buy stuff, right? I don't care if they're buying pens and pencils, computers, or if they're buying construction services to go do, they're buying window washing at the federal building, whatever, they're buying stuff. I buy that stuff for the federal government. And with an unlimited warrant means that I can buy any amount, right? I'm on LinkedIn. If you want to know more about what I do in my 9 to 5, check out LinkedIn. I don't mind telling you that, right? Now, the federal government has purchased, guys. So you know, I'm gonna dig into this really briefly because everybody doesn't want to know about this. But the federal government buys over $600 billion worth of goods and services from contractors every single year. Many small businesses, they want to get those contracts, right? I've done YouTube, I've done seminars, and I've done YouTube. I've sat in as guest, or I've given YouTube workshops on how to understand the federal government contracting process. Right, so I understand that process very well. I can offer you tips. Some things, if you're a small business and you ever want to get a federal government contract, you got to figure out, does the government buy what you sell? Can you meet the requirements of whatever solicitation that you're trying to meet? And if you're a small business, do you have the small business certifications? Woman owned, veteran owned, service disabled veteran owned. I can go through all that with you. But anyway, keep in mind, those designations are different from the federal government to the state government, right? Don't slip on your state government, your county government, your city governments. Those are things that are important too. You can also get a lot of experience those. I have a ton of tips. I've given, like I said, hour long, 2 hour long seminars on this topic, and I won't bore most of you with it, but it's what I do for a living, 9 to 5. So I can help you. Listen, I cannot help you get a government contract. That's against the rules. Can't do that. But I can help you understand the process, right? In terms of a government contract. That's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I can also help you understand how to get a government job, right? I can't get you a government job. I can show you the process. There's some things you need to know. People ask me all the time, how do I get a government job? There's lots of ways, but one way is usajobs.gov, right? Make sure you have wide parameters. Make sure you fill out their resume on USA Jobs instead of trying to upload your. Look, I can go through a lot of different stuff. I have a lot of knowledge about that information that I can share with you guys. But I don't want to bore you with that sixth stream of income, but I do have a 9 to 5, right? And but I also I work at my work, but then when work is over, I work on me and I work on what I'm doing for myself and these other streams of income. By the way, guys, I do want to say this. I'm going to put timestamps in the description of this video here on YouTube. I know it's a long one, but that way you can skip around and get to the thing that you want to hear about the most. I'm going to put that after this video uploads, probably be a few hours. I'll put in some timestamps, but that's my main source of income. Let's jump to numbers. Let me just see if there's any questions, guys. All right. Let's see. Wow, this is cool, Mo. Okay, let's see. Got to read that book. Just ordered your real estate book off Amazon. Mark, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. You got questions? Feel free to reach out to me, man. I usually put my email down here. You can email me if you have a question about that real estate book. That's cool. My wife got Too Rich to Miss. My wife got a country country with the government and works with someone like yourself. Awesome. A contract. Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then Monica said, wow, your ideas are endless. I'm encouraged even more to start writing my journal on finances. Start writing. Monica, start a blog. Monica, get you a WordPress website, go out and get your domain and start you a blog, right? And then figure out how to advertise on your blog and you can begin to make some money on your blog, right? It just takes a little bit of help. Please do not go out and spend $3,000 on the weekend boot camp. You ain't got to do that. There's too much learning out here on YouTube. Somebody, Tavanda said, thank you. I'm going back to revisit eBay. You can do it, Tavanda. Demetric said, how many years did it take you to get this smart? Stop it, Demetric. I'm not smart. I'm a regular dude. All right. But it takes a lot of, I've done a lot of things. And so those things add up over time. JT Coin, appreciate you being here, man. JT has been around me for a long time since my channel didn't have any subscribers. So JT Coin Rings, I appreciate you. And I think he may have a YouTube channel, JT Coin Rings. Check him out. Good guy. Avocado said, is there any specific products they are looking for? The federal government buys almost everything. Okay. Literally almost everything. And I can share with you if you jumped on the phone with me for 15 minutes, I can share with you where to go figure out what they buy. You can tell me what your business is. I can tell you if they buy it. T-Bone says, do I mentor people? Absolutely. The very second one I mentioned here about 40 minutes ago was about one-on-one coaching and mentoring that I do to help people. I mentor several people right now, especially a lot of young guys, young men, ladies too, but I have a number more young men that want to get some mentoring. So yeah, I absolutely do that. I'd be more than happy to help you. Oh yeah, got to get a consult. Okay, Jeff Dunlap. I was thinking the same thing, T-Bone. Jeff, yep, got you covered, Jeff, more than likely. Elver says, what up, brother? What up to you, Elver? I'm inspired and soaking up your words of wisdom. Can I get a birthday shout out? 21. Shout out to Elver. Happy birthday to you. You got a long way to go, man. 21. I remember those days. From Atlanta. 21. I was 21 in 1991. Long time ago. Listen, Elver, if you're interested in starting to grow your money, 21 is a perfect age. This is your birthday gift to you. Start growing your money right now at 21. That's my birthday gift to you. Don't stop. Don't touch it. Just keep putting money in the stock market. Keep putting money in real estate. Just keep putting money aside. You got a good future ahead of you. All right, Jeff said, best way to make money in the evening. My question, he said, I work full time during and also do gig deliveries at night, but still looking for another 500 a month or so. Jeff, awesome. Get with me, Jeff. I can help you, man. I guarantee you, we can figure out a way looking at what you do, what you like, and get you there. All right. Now let me go to number 7. The seventh stream of income that I have, that I get most of the questions about, is voiceovers. Voiceovers. People ask me all the time, and I don't know why people are so fascinated about voiceovers, but they ask me, how did you get into voiceover? How do you start voiceovers? Voiceovers. All right, let me show. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. I started doing voiceovers about, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 years ago. I started at my church doing voiceovers for my church. When I say voiceovers for the church, I mean reading announcements and things like that. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I said, this is pretty cool. I like this stuff. And then about 5 years ago, I said, how can I venture off and do this on my own and start making some money doing voiceovers, right? And so I joined a few voiceover communities on social media. I started looking at it on YouTube, and I got some USB microphones similar to the one I have right here. I went out and got a Blue Yeti USB, meaning it plugs right into your laptop. I said, where can I do it in my household that's quiet? I started trying to practice a little bit. One way I practice is I started reading books out loud. Incredible practice. You think you can read now? You just wait till you start reading books out loud. You'll be shocked at how much better you get. I used to read books out loud as practice. I found a quiet place in my home and I bought, like I said, a USB mic. And I just started getting going on this voiceover. Listen, a lot of voiceover, there's a big voiceover community out there in the world. Okay. And you can go to Facebook, you can go to Facebook groups. But I started listening to some podcasts on other folks that did voiceovers, some YouTubers like my man Dave Fenoy, Fennoy. He's a bigger one out of LA. He's been doing it for 30, 40 years. He's got a podcast on YouTube. Anthony Pica, Pica. Anthony, I listen to Anthony a lot. Carrie Olson. I'm just throwing out a few people that have been influential that I listen to. But I started learning and listening to people on YouTube and podcasts about the voiceover business, right? There's a nice, large voiceover community out there in the world, and most of them are pretty cool people. You can reach out to them, right? But I started doing audiobooks. Some of the low-hanging fruit was acx.com, where people need their books read. There's other places nowadays besides acx.com. But I started looking at acx.com 5 years ago, right? And I started reading books, and there's a few audiobooks on Amazon that I've read that are that my voice was, and that's a good way to start. Now I figured out pretty quickly I didn't like doing audiobooks because you're pretty much in the booth for a long time, right? Doing audiobooks, editing, etc. But nowadays, I get a lot of my work in really two places. I have a profile on Fiverr. Matter of fact, let's go to Fiverr. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see me on Fiverr, my profile on Fiverr, right? And here I am on Fiverr. If you're able to see my screen, see that? I got a bunch of gigs. They call them gigs on Fiverr, and I've got 190 some odd reviews. I got 5 stars. Everybody doesn't leave a review, right? Some people do, some don't. But I have all different types of gigs on Fiverr, and I do a little bit of work from Fiverr, and I don't charge a lot, but you'd be surprised the amount how gigs add up on Fiverr. Now, do I make thousands of dollars a month doing voiceovers? No, because I just don't have the time to devote to it, right? When you have all these different streams of income, you can't be everywhere at one time. So for me, I kind of have to choose one or two, right? And so I've really been working really hard the last couple of years on YouTube, and that means I can't be heavy in voiceovers if I'm heavy in YouTube, because YouTube is time consuming. I can't be heavy on eBay if I'm heavy doing real estate deals, right? So you got to pick and choose, guys. You can't be everywhere at once. But I really, really, really enjoy Fiverr. I'm sorry, voiceovers. I really enjoy voiceovers. So because of that, I said, let me go ahead and just stay with voiceover. So I just want to show you my profile on Fiverr. But Fiverr's a solid spot to if it, there used to be a riff about Fiverr because a lot of folks in the voiceover industry didn't like Fiverr because they thought, well, you're kind of dumbing down our industry. We normally get $300, $500 for this if you're a union, but now you're going over to Fiverr and offer it for $5. All right. So Fiverr's a cool place. I get a lot of jobs on Fiverr because I'm not a professional voiceover person. I just do it on the side because I really enjoy it. But it's a cool place. It's a cool gig, right? You don't have to have a great voice. Voice overs is not about having a great voice, because most time nowadays they don't like the voice that sounds like this, and you're announcing a show and come on down and the price is right, and they don't like that type of voice. Although, as you can see, I can do that type of voice, right? They like a more natural voice right now, right? They like a voice that's much more natural. You don't have to be all over the top. Now sometimes I'll do a radio spot that calls for an over the top voice, right? And sometimes I'll do just a regular. They want you to be plain. They don't want you to be all extra fancy. They don't want all that sauce and mustard on top of it, right? But I can do that, right, if I have to. But the point is that you need to get coaching, and coaching will bring out whatever's in your voice. You don't have to have the best voice. You can just be a regular voice person and get some coaching. And also, it's good if you want to do voice acting to do some improv, do a little bit of acting, because when you do voiceovers, you have to get into a character 99 times out of 100, unless there's different genres of voice acting, right? You could do explainer videos, right? If you're doing an explainer video for a pharmaceutical company, you don't have to be acting, right? But most of it is acting. You got to go into a character and be a character. So if you can get a little bit of acting under your belt, that's good. But get a lot of coaching, because you'll be surprised. You don't just show up and be a great voiceover person, right? It's practice, it's work like everything else. But you got to get over your fears and all that good stuff, right? Learn about voiceovers, read and listen to podcasts, get a quiet room somewhere that's hopefully treated, because you got to learn a little bit about sound, right? The fact that when you have flat surfaces, sound is going to bounce off them and reverberate, right? When you listen to somebody on YouTube and they're talking in a tall ceiling, it sounds different if the ceilings are low and maybe treat it. So get a quiet room, learn how to edit, because 90% of what you do as a voiceover person that wants to get started is auditioning, and you have to cut up your auditions and edit. So thankfully for me, because I did voiceovers at my church for many, many years, I already knew how to edit. So editing is something that you have to learn and just go for it, right? It ain't that hard. I learned how to do voiceovers on YouTube and of course through my church, but I really got better at it on YouTube, right? And this is again, all seven of the things that I've mentioned on here are things that I can coach, I can help you with. Again, I'm not a professional voiceover artist, but I can certainly tell you the things you got to do to get into the game. I also have an agent. That's the second way I get a little bit of voiceover jobs nowadays. I put together, and my agent gets me a little on camera work as also. But I created a demo for my voiceover. I also have a voiceover website. I'm going to put that in there just for the heck of it, right? EricBowie'sVoice.com. I think that's right. EricBowie'sVoice.com. I'll put it in the chat. But I have a website and I have demos on my website. So, um, but it's fun. It's fun to do. But I created a demo. I shopped it to a few local agents. One of the agents picked me up. There you have it. I haven't shopped it to agents in Chicago and agents in LA and agents in Florida and agents in New York. But I could, if I wanted to go full bore into voiceovers, that's what I would do. I would shop it to a bunch of folks. I'd have an agent. I had several agents throughout the country, and then they would shoot me work as well. Probably join the union and all that good stuff. So there you have it, guys. My 7 streams of income, how I make money. I wanted to dive deep. Let me look through the questions, see if you guys have any more. Um, Bill DeWeese, whoo, too rich to miss, mentioned Bill DeWeese. Yes, he's a big time voiceover guy. I listen to a lot of Bill DeWeese. Good guy too. I went back and forth with him on LinkedIn a few times. So he definitely sounds like Donnie Simpson. You mean with the gray eyes, Donnie Simpson? All right. Stay on fire. Mark says we need to spread the good word of the power of the mega backdoor Roth conversion strategy. Excellent. If you make a certain amount of money, Mark, excellent, excellent. I have a whole video on a Roth IRAs that I have on YouTube, but a lot of YouTube guys are not great. A lot of them are great. I've had great experience in the YouTube communities that I've been in, guys. They've been really, really welcoming towards me. Crypto miners is one of the best ways to make money is send out large volumes of cold and warm emails every day. I'm not a big I do have an email subscriber list. It's going to be in the description box. And I'm building my email list. So feel free to jump on that email list if you want. Too Rich said he got coaching from Anthony Pica before. Yes, Anthony Pica's a good guy. Are you a top seller on eBay? I'm thinking you're talking about. I was a top seller on eBay, but I just haven't sold a lot on eBay recently. Fiverr works if you work it. It sure does. Here's the beauty about Fiverr. You can do anything on Fiverr. You can teach people how to write resumes. You can teach people how to cook. You can do anything on Fiverr, offer it as a service and get paid. You can edit videos on Fiverr, right? Fiverr is a great place to go if you have a service to give to the world for a fee. All right, great place to be. Broderick said, which domain did you use to create your website? I was on Wix. I got off of Wix and I went to WordPress. So my website, smartmoneybro.com, is on WordPress, but it's hosted by Bluehost, and they've been fine for me. You hear there's this good and bad in every hosting service. That's great about mentoring young people. Absolutely, Tavonda. And then Dorinda says, I'm loving this live, learning so much. You are so, so welcome, Dorinda. This is what this channel is all about. Again, you guys know my 6th stream of income, as I said, was a job. I don't need to go out and milk money from people. I'm not saying milk. Let me not say that. I don't need to make money from you guys to actually feed myself. So I may be coming at a different angle than some guys or some ladies that do, right? Because some people, their whole livelihood is based on the YouTube channel and the one-on-one coaching they do, right? And that's cool if that's what they do. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm more of a person that I already have a job and I'm just looking to help as many people. And I do charge for my one-on-ones, like I told you guys earlier. I charge for those because it's my time, right? I have to charge my time. Sometimes I do I do like small groups where you can I make money on that too, but it's more of a small group of folks that we talk to more in a more closer setting, 5 or 10 people. So I'll do a little bit of that too as well, guys. But I just wanted to come on here and you know help you guys understand that you can have these streams of income too. This is not me bragging or boasting or trying to say that I'm above anybody. I'm trying to say that, look, here's a guy who really didn't get going with any of this stuff until I was over 30. And most of the streams of income I mentioned to you, all of them were over 30. Most of them were over 40. Some of them were over 50. I started this YouTube channel at the age of 51, right? It's about, what do you believe that you have to offer the world, and what are you gifted at? What do you love to do? What do you have a passion to share with the world? And what do you do well? Right? What is your skill set that you have to offer? Everything I had was around the idea of money. And that's why I said, hey, 2017, I'm sitting in the buddy's office. What should I call myself? What should I call my and I think I mentioned smart money brother, and he said smart money brother. And I said, well, if I shorten that to smart money bro, and I became smart money bro. The key is this: you have to be a creator. You have to be an initiator. You have to be a person that's okay with self-study, self-learning, initiative, ambition, and some desire. You're not going to always have an accountability partner. You're not going to always have a person that's going to be able to teach you to do what you want to do. Sometimes you got to just face the music alone and still go out and push yourself to learn how to do voiceovers. Push yourself to learn how to do YouTube. You got to be able to make that YouTube video when your previous 15 videos got 100 views. Nobody's watching, right? You got to still do it. Nobody's there to push you. You got to have that desire inside of you to do it. Okay. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Yes. You're very welcome. That's what I'm here for, is to help. You guys, listen, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Share this video. Feel free to leave more comments below. I try to do my best. Let me give you a little secret about YouTube. I try to do my best to answer a lot of the comments and questions that come to me in the comments section. Do you know why I do that? Have you ever been watching a really big YouTuber and you left a comment and they never answered it? But then you leave a comment on another big YouTuber and they actually recognize you as a human being and they respond to your comment? Because I understand the importance of human connection. People really, really, really like when they are recognized, when you see that they're there, when you say their name, when you give them a shout out, when you respond to their comment. It makes people feel good. That's part of the connection. That's why I answer a lot of questions. First of all, I love to see what people have to say in the comments. Good, bad, ugly, improvement, whatever it may be. I'm for it, right? Because I want to get better. But also, I like to connect with people because people need to be connected too. You're on a social media place called YouTube because you want to be connected with. I'm not so big of a YouTuber that I can't get on here and answer your question or give you a little bit of encouragement in the comments section, responding to your comment. So that's why I like to respond to comments. Okay. Just so you guys know. That's just a little secret that I do. Um, you do any of these things, whenever you do something just a little bit better or different than the rest of everybody else, you stand out. Okay. So, hey, smash the like button. As I always say, guys, share the video, become a subscriber if you're not already a subscriber. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is that young you. Take care of yourself, guys. Take care of other people as well. All right. Until the next video, guys, I'll catch you again. Peace.